what I
Are we on?
We're on.
We're on. It's
Hey, everybody.
Live edition of Splash Hit Territory from the ballpark. We're in an auxiliary broadcast booth on the third floor right now. Susan Slusser and myself. We're getting ready for game 2 of the 4-game series between the Giants and the New York Mets. Susan is in your face right now. And
Hi.
she can't see.
I can't see.
She's blind.
Look, people are starting to say stuff. We got to
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot to talk about. Daniel Susac last night, 3 for 3 in his first start in his big league debut. Got on base 4 times. He went viral. The kid thing in the stands. It's back-to-back days for the Giants. They've gone viral, so they're relevant again. Whether it was Matt Chapman and Casey Schmidt on the mound, or on TMZ today. Did you see TMZ?
Oh no! What?
Yes, did the Daniel Susac thing. So,
oh my gosh,
everyone's talking about the Giants. Tony Vitello's press conferences right now are must-see TV. You just don't know what he's going to say, and it's all very entertaining. So we have lots to talk about. So your questions, we get to interact with you guys live. So this is pretty cool for us. We don't get to do this all the time, but we're going to start doing it a little more. Susan's going to filter the questions over here, but anything you guys want to know, we're talking all Giants. We'll probably be here for about 25, 30 minutes, depending on how long you guys want us to be here, but we're super excited to do one live. Susan's a little nervous. I do everything live, so this is something different for me. But she goes on KNBR live all the time too. I shouldn't say that. She's a tremendous guest on KNBR, frequent guest. So last night was a fun night at the Yard. I know you look at it a little different, more objectively as a reporter, but the vibe in here was great. The game was good.
Yeah, so absolutely fun. Incredibly good vibes. But like everything was either super interesting or really great from a Giants perspective, right? I mean, so cool, Susac, of course. But I think low-key, one of my favorite things was Blake Tidwell getting the save, but not knowing he got the save and being very confused about it. He was like, but we're up 5 runs. Why? What? So he did not know the 3-run rule, 3-inning rule. A lot of people don't, judging by my comments. We're getting some questions already.
Let's go. Bring on the questions.
Okay, so the first one. So I didn't see a lot of this because I was busy watching the game. The kid thing, which I assume is the Susac thing, which you were talking about, TMZ. Do you have any opinions on that? It seems like a mixed bag.
I thought it was awesome. It was quality entertainment last night. I was sitting in this very booth with Glenn Kuiper, and we were laughing hard at it. And it went viral. I talked to Daniel today about it, and he said that's his nephew. His name's Charles. And they were kind of, I guess the parents were kind of worried about people's thoughts on it. And it is a mixed bag. I've talked to some people like, oh my God, what were you doing to your kid? And then I just like the general authentic enthusiasm that the family had. There's nothing like a major league debut. There's nothing like getting your first hit. It's what makes baseball so great. And they all lost their minds. I mean, my take was I want to party with the whole family. They seem like a fun bunch.
They seem fun. I mean, they were sitting pretty close to the press box. You could hear them. And then anytime Susac did anything, which was often, they'd all just erupt. It was great. It was really fun.
I'm shaking him all over, and he's just like, ah. I texted my son today. I said, that would have been you.
100%.
It reminded me of something my son would have done because he used to throw tantrums at that age. But it was fun to watch. I thought that the sneaky biggest moment of the game last night was Daniel Susac's challenge.
Yeah.
On a 3-2 pitch, where Ryan Walker's kind of teetering that I don't know what's going on thing. Came in the 6th inning. He walks that guy. Who knows what happens? And I joked on KNBR on the postgame show last night after that was the ABS challenge that turned Ryan Walker's season around. I don't know if it's that, but that was big.
Well, Susac said, somebody said, like, what's the thing you're going to remember most from tonight, your first major league start? And you said probably the ABS challenge, which last year wasn't a thing. So that's kind of extra funny.
And
it's like, I didn't know if it was going to be like he was like, it was borderline. I didn't know which way it was going to go. So he was like, but it was huge.
And his reaction, the shots of him with his tongue out and then smiling as he got the ball and threw it to third base was just priceless. Last night was priceless in a million ways. Robbie Ray battled through it. He fought, he scrapped, he clawed, didn't have his best stuff, but got the job done. Tony Vitello sticking with Casey Schmidt and putting him back out there after a rough one in San Diego the day before. Casey rewarded the team and the skipper with 3 hits. He made a nice play at first base.
Great.
So right when you're thinking Devers is going to play first or Encarnacion is going to play first, I think I said that on the
I'm sure we're going to get questions about first. Let's take questions. Here's one for you because you're the former player and I don't understand. I've never understood this. Why? Wait, where did it go? The question was,
It's the other way.
I know it's the other way. The question was about Jung-Hoo. Why does he always lose his helmet? Why is his helmet always falling off? Tell me, because I don't understand that either. How does that happen?
Because it doesn't fit. Next question. I have no idea.
Is it as simple as that?
I would think like it's kind of a way of Jung-Hoo knowing if he's swinging too hard. Because when he overswings, the helmet comes off. But if you watch when he hits a triple or a base hit, the helmet doesn't come off.
Oh, so it's calibration.
It's usually on a swing and miss. How many times have you seen Jung-Hoo run into first without a helmet?
Maybe it's like you know how you snap a rubber band on your wrist to try to change a habit?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that. Like, oh, I better swing at a good pitch or my helmet's going to come off.
I like my helmet as tight as possible, man. I wanted that thing, and I pull my helmet down like this so it would make me look for the ball down in the zone. And I used to pull my helmet. People used to make fun of how low I wore my bill, but it was so I wouldn't swing at high pitches.
Oh, all right. That's a good hack.
And I thought it looked kind of badass too, if I'm being honest. It's like, I'm coming to get you.
You tell yourself that.
Let's do this. Well, if you think it works, it works.
FP, how nervous were you for your MLB debut?
I was very nervous. I played 6.5 years in the minor leagues before I got my chance. It was a 7:30 game, and when I got called up the night before, they told me to be early. I got there at noon. The locker room in Montreal was locked. I had to get on like a little PA thing and ask for somebody to come up in the locker room. Bill Stoneman was the GM of the team. He came down, let me in. He goes, congratulations, don't you think you're a little early? And I said, I've been waiting my whole life for this. There's no such thing as early. And because I got there early, Felipe Alou put me in the lineup. I was the only one in the clubhouse after 6.5 years in the minor leagues. My jersey was hanging in my locker. There was no clubbies in there yet because it was noon for a 7:30 game. Felipe was the first guy to walk in. He came over and said, Frankie, congratulations. And the story goes, he went and put me in the lineup card that night, hit me 8th because I was there early. He goes, he's more ready than anybody I got. And I got 2 hits my first night as a big leaguer, triple to right field, runner on second, nobody out, I'm hitting 8th. And Jerry Manuel was the third base coach. And I said, am I moving the runner here with the pitcher on deck? And he goes, yeah, Jeff Acero can hit. So just look for something away because I was sitting right-handed. And I got a fastball away and hit it down the right field line, stand-up triple. And then I got a base hit left-handed later in the game. And you would know this better than me. They told me I was one of only like a handful of players that got 2 hits from both sides of the plate in the major league debut. But I was really nervous to answer your question. My first at-bat, I grounded out to third, and my back leg was shaking. I was so nervous. And I was in tears in the national anthem, 2 national anthems, the Canadian and the American. I was standing back in those days. You used to take the field first. You didn't come out of the dugout. So I was standing in left field while the anthems were playing by myself and trying not to cry. So it was pretty cool.
We've got and that is actually awesome. So I have no idea about 2 hits for both sides of the plate, and it can't be very many.
No, I think Mickey Mantle was one of them, so that was kind of cool.
I do have to say, like, people like
same player.
I get tons of questions from like young journalists. What are like best things to do? And one of the things I always tell them is make sure you're the first person there to work. I think that's for any job. Be the first one there, be one of the last to leave, and volunteer for any extra work and learn how to do every job, which that's kind of what you did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you did.
Well,
I think any job.
My kids hated me because of that night. They were the first ones to every soccer and baseball game. And I'm like, it looks good. It looks good. You got to be early. And I'm still early to this day to everything.
It's a tone, man.
20, 30 minutes early to everything I do. And it's just probably because, I mean, I was like that before, but probably because of that one night that turned my whole trajectory of my career around by getting there early. If I had sat on the bench for a week and not played in Montreal, my debut, I would have been so nervous. That's what makes Daniel Susac's night so great last night, because he sat around for a long time. You can lose your swing from spring training to 8 or 9 days later, whatever it was, 7 days later when he played. So the fact that he threw 3 out there after not playing that long and had time to just go like, oh my God, this is a big league. So that makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do we want to show everybody where we are? We're in the Willie Mays suite.
No, Willie McCovey.
Oh, the Willie McCovey suite. Well,
Yes.
They're both great. And the broadcast level, because we couldn't find a spot in the press box that was quiet. FP wanted you to see what I think it might be a little too glary, but there's the view.
The view from up here. You guys know it if you've been to the ballpark.
Yeah, I think
But
I know what
this is the broadcast level.
like.
So like when I'll be doing the games against the Phillies coming up with John Miller, that's my view. That's my office. How lucky am I?
You're very lucky.
It's incredible.
Okay, let's. We're going to try to blaze through as many questions
Let's
as possible,
go.
because all these fine people are asking good questions.
I'm talking too much.
Yeah, you are. That's okay. You always do.
Yeah, coffee. You guys want some?
What'd you guys think about Walker coming in after Ray and how they planned that out? I like it. I agree. I loved it. I can't tell you how many managers say, I'll use my high leverage guys early when it's, when it's warranted. You can use them at any time. Sometimes the high leverage situations early in the game, and then they don't do it. Tony Vitello did it. He did it in the 6th. We were all kind of like, wait, what's happening? But afterwards he said that. I thought that was going to be the most high leverage situation in the game. And a lot of times when a good starter comes out of a game, that gives the hitting team like a little momentum, like, oh, we got rid of that guy. This way, you've got like a high leverage guy coming in and then a completely different look too, which they really like, going from lefty Ray, and his delivery is completely opposite from Ryan Walker. I loved everything about that.
So and it gives you a chance to add on to your lead too when you bring in a high leverage guy early. And I can't tell you how many times as a player in the dugout, the whole vibe changed when somebody's shoving and they come out of the game. They could bring in Cy Young out of the bullpen, but it's not the guy that's been shoving for 6 innings, and you feel like you have a chance. There was a game the Giants had in the playoffs, I think it was in 2014 in D.C., where Jordan Zimmerman was the pitcher for the Nationals, and Matt Williams was the manager for the Nationals, and he took Jordan Zimmerman out. And I think, I'm trying to think of who it was. It might have been Tim Hudson, turned to the bench and said, let's go, here we go. And then they came back and won that game. So that's kind of the mentality there, is you don't want to let the other team up.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great by Tony. I thought Tony had his best game as a big league manager last night.
I really liked it. I liked everything about it. And so we have a comment, not a question, about Vitello. Media's complaining about Tony V not being like the others. That's why he was hired. Lou Blood, yeah. I mean, that's kind of exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. Like that was different from what we see. And we hear a lot about we're going to run more every year from guys. Maybe we'll hit and run. Maybe we'll do different things. I actually think when Tony says stuff, I think we're probably going to see it happen. He does seem very straight up, which sometimes is not necessarily as helpful as it could be. But so I hope nobody needs this week because we're in it. We still this week.
Well, that's why they hired Tony, to be Tony. They don't want to be anybody else, and he's being himself. Did you see his interview on the MLB Network where he said they asked him about the Chapman Schmidt thing on the mound, and he said, yeah, they're both from Southern California, and they were talking about the Catalina wine mixer. So if you watch Step Brothers, there's a line in there where they were like, the effing Catalina wine mixer. He said, yeah, they did use F-bombs, but they were talking about the Catalina wine mixer. I told Tony in the dugout about 20 minutes ago, I said, dude, you had me cracking up at home. So I love everything I'm seeing from him so far.
So another comment, and this one's about Vitello, loves the interviews. I mean, the interviews can be a tiny bit of a loose cannon so far. You never know quite what we're going to get. I love that. I find it completely interesting. Early in spring, when there was a lot of still Tennessee and SEC stuff, I think for the beat writers, we were kind of like, okay, we need to talk a little bit about this team. He's through that, and now it's a little bit of a free-for-all sometimes. It's fascinating. Who wasn't? I never know what he's going to say. I enjoy that a lot. So,
I'll tell you this: your little media scrums are going to get shorter and shorter as the year goes on.
You think he's going to start censoring himself?
Well, not censoring himself. He's just going to be like, "This is wearing me out," because he's going long with you guys right now, and he's telling you a lot, and he's trying to get to know you guys, and he wants you to know him.
Open to comments.
All right, let's go.
No, I'm just. You can keep going. I'm just. I'm going to try to get those. We're never going to get through all of these, you guys. So we're going to just have to do another one. We said that last time. No, because I can't read them.
They see them right here.
Yeah. But so yeah, I need to vet them because what if it was so.
Just throw it up there.
Blood clots expected to be nothing. Took most. Okay, so this is about Jose Buto. This is information about blood clots. And see, now you're doing it. He can't see either.
Some pro golfers and players have blood clots. Yeah, that's so small. Can we make the screen bigger?
No, but I can show it to you here. Oops.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but just blood clot doesn't sound like a good thing to me.
Yeah. You know what? They don't know. Here, see, you can read it there.
Okay.
We don't know. Apparently, there are several different possibilities for treating a blood clot. I got a little alarmed when I heard blood clot because, sometimes they could be quite dangerous. Apparently, he's been maybe dealing with this for a while. My impression was maybe even going back to last year and didn't know. It just got diagnosed. But there are several different ways to treat it. I have heard of things like dissolve. Certainly, there's blood thinning medications. I don't know if that would be enough, but they'll probably have to go in and remove it. So I assume recovery time is then based on how invasive the surgery has to be, and depends on where the blood clot is. But we really have very scant information about Buto's blood clot, and certainly we're all hoping it's minimal.
You guys, he's the nicest guy, one of the nicest people I've met in years. I know I say that a lot about the players, but I got to know him at the Sacramento Fan Fest thing, and I did a Q&A with him on the dugout. Just a wonderful human being, man. I say hi to him, give him a hug every day. So we're all rooting for Jose Buto. He makes your day better just being around him.
And he's good.
And he's really good.
He's really good. Here's one for you, and don't take too long with this.
We got to do a commercial?
Oh, do we have to do a commercial? Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. Well, let's do this really quickly.
I can't do anything quickly.
That's true. What's the hardest part about calling a game? I know that's probably going to tee you up for a long answer.
Yeah. The hardest part about calling a game is it's different in TV. I've been in TV for so long, and now I'm on the radio side with the Giants, is you have to be way more descriptive on the radio. I had replays and monitors to show you guys what was going on and breaking down swings or telling you why somebody made an error. And there was a visual part of that medium. But like, you're flying just solo. I mean, you had a producer and a director and teeing you up for replays, and you had elements and stats and graphics. When you're on the radio, it's just you by yourself. So when I do a replay on the radio, I have to, like, you know, Matt Chapman was chasing that ball like it was rolling downhill in a gutter and you're playing on the street. So you can get a visual of him running after a baseball somewhere. So it's a lot more challenging on the radio than it is on TV, but I love it. I'm just happy to be a part of the best broadcast team in baseball, a tiny part.
You're a good talker. That's why we're friends.
Well, let's put a commercial on. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
It's like 10 seconds. We're coming right back.
I think he's fibbing, but come back anyway.
AJ, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Fox One. Fox One is where you can watch AJ Pierzynski. And I get this email every week now, AJ, that says what to watch this week on Fox One. They give you the weekly watch list. And now that is going to be full of Saturday MLB games with a little bit of you, a little bit of Ken Rosenthal, and your friends.
Absolutely. That starts next Saturday, Sky. You can watch all the games on the Fox One app. You can watch college basketball. You can watch college football. You can watch, they have IndyCar, they have NASCAR, and they have great shows. Fox One is the app that really does have it all.
Start your 7-day free trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions. Fox One, streaming now.
All right, that was riveting. Where are we at on the questions?
I don't know. I gotta find them.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
She went to Stanford, folks.
Well, I don't think when I was in college we did not have this podcasting.
Concentrate on getting the comments back up.
Okay. I'm trying.
So I'm excited about the rest of the series. The guys are playing loose. They're having a good time. You saw Willy Adames. I think it says a lot about Willy. He went 0 for 4 last night, and he still was the bucket guy and was having fun. It wasn't about, what I did tonight. It was about what we did tonight. So there were so many great things in the game. I guess somebody's laptop got ruined because of the Gatorade thing. Hey, that's the price you pay for doing on-field interviews, man. And that's fun when you get to do something like that. So Susan is still trying to find the questions here.
I don't know what happened to them. They've said they've disappeared.
Can I get them on my phone?
I don't know.
That'd be a shame if we had to go a little bit short on this.
Yeah, bear with it.
I won't sleep tonight if we
bear with us.
Go a little bit short on this.
Stop it.
That's why you don't do stupid commercials on these things. Like, just we were rolling.
Oh, I don't think that's a thing you should be saying.
I really don't care.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some things I'm sure people are asking about, including first base. How are you seeing this first base situation? Why have we not seen Rafael Devers at first base yet?
They call this vamping in television, where the producer's scrambling in the truck to get a graphic up, and you have to vamp and talk while they do it. So I can talk. I mean, that's what I do for a living. I'm a pro talker. I'm not sure. He seems to be healthy. They took ground balls today, and I didn't see him at first base, so I don't know what's going on with Rafi Devers. I don't know when he's going to play first base. It seems like Tony said when they come back from the road trip, maybe against the Dodgers. That seems to be the plan. But he seems healthy to me. That ball he hit last night, when he hits a ball, they stay hit, man. And they have the high trajectory with the backspin. And now we're off the air.
No, we're not.
We're not off the air?
No, we're still here. We're still on the air. We're just looking for the comments now on YouTube.
Okay. So I'm on right now?
Yeah, you're on.
This is going swimmingly.
Well, I don't know why everything disappeared, but it kind of did. So
well, let's just call it a short one today.
No, we should keep talking. We're not gonna. Oh, wait. No, is that it?
It said,
Oh, here we go.
it
Here's
said
some questions.
mesh pants for seniors. We could talk
Yeah.
about mesh pants for seniors.
Okay.
I got some on right now. I just pooped my pants
FP, could you
in the
please?
middle of the podcast. It's mesh pants for
Okay,
seniors.
they're not seeing, I don't think they're seeing that, but so there are some questions here.
All right.
Somebody says bringing up Kanye West was a little weird, sure. I'll ask a question, Susan FP. What do you think of the Caribbean crew, Adonis, Devers, Ramos, and Arise? Oh my gosh.
I love them all.
I love them all too. I 100% would like Luis Arise is so fun to watch. Every at bat is, you know how like you didn't want to go to the concession stand when Bonds was up?
Yeah.
For me, low-key, a little bit arises like that just because I love watching him, you know? He's a 2 strikes, no problem. He's such a good 2-strike hitter.
He has tremendous energy in the field and in his at-bats, and it's infectious to the rest of his teammates. If you watch his mannerisms between pitches when he steps out and then all of a sudden steps back in, he's just always fidgety. He's got high energy. He's always looking for the extra base. A little bit faster than I thought he was before watching him play here the first week or so of the season, and he's done a great job at second base. He turned a double play from Chapman last night on a low feed around his ankles, and having played a lot of second base, the hardest turn for a second baseman is that one down by your shoe tops, almost like a wide receiver in football, the low catch that you have to take off the ground. Same kind of thing. He stood up, threw an absolute rocket to first base. So he's been as advertised, not as advertised, but it's all been positive stuff. They said he couldn't play second. He's doing a great job at second base, and I think he's their leading hitter with 2 more hits last night, 2 for 5 for Arise last night. I think his average is around 330 something. So hopefully those at-bats keep coming. And I like that they have them down the order too. We talked about this on a podcast. Contact with the runner on third less than 2 outs last year was few and far between. And now you got a contact guy that actually put the ball in play with runners in scoring position. So that's super refreshing without the swing and miss in an RBI position.
Somebody suggested we look at YouTube for the questions, which is a great idea. Thank you. The only problem is I can't then put your questions up here, but they've disappeared from my little module thing. And it's not like I'm the most techie person anyway. But one I saw was asking you what you think of Adames leading off in particular and the lineup as sort of currently formulated. But we do have breaking news. Casey Schmidt got scratched late with back tightness. So Gerard Encarnacion's at first. So there we go. I've been wondering where he was for quite some time.
Well, that stinks because Casey got 3 hits last night, and he's doing a decent job at first, minus that hiccup in San Diego. He made that nice play last night, but I'm excited for Gerard Encarnacion to get a look tonight. Got some added pop in the lineup. We'll see how that goes. But they're facing a tough pitcher, a right-hander with a nasty sinker and a lot of velo tonight. So we'll see how this whole thing goes.
Well, since you're getting a lot, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Here's one for me from Mark Walker 3829. What's your favorite restaurant, Susan? And I'm gonna say Emmy's Spaghetti Shack in Bernal Heights / Mission, sort of on the border there. Excellent, always good.
What's your go-to?
The front there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't like all the pasta dishes are, but their spaghetti and meatballs. I mean, it's Emmy's Spaghetti Shack. Also great cocktails. Front porch around the corner from there. Great Cajun kind of Creole food. Also phenomenal. Great for brunch. So if anybody's in Bernal.
You know what's a sneaky hack, and you guys probably know this? If you go to a fancy Italian restaurant, just order the bolognese. Everybody tries to get the fancy dishes, the this, the that, whatever. The chicken marsala. Just get the bolognese. And it's usually the best dish on the menu, even if it's a high-end fancy Italian restaurant. I always go for the bolognese.
Someone asks if I've ever been the target of a Gatorade bath, and no, except for you've been in a playoff clinching celebration situations. The reporters get doused in there too, and I've got to say that's pretty gross. And you have to if you have a notebook, you have to be very careful with your notebook and your phone. So kind of walking around like this, and how do I interview people without my phone getting completely drenched or my notebook getting drenched?
Half the fun of those things is targeting randos that are in the clubhouse. Because Susan's here every day, right? And there's a certain fabric and a flow to a season where the everyday people are here every day. I'm here every day. Susan's here every day. But when you get to the playoffs, there's people you haven't seen all year. It's like Christmas at church, right? Easter Sunday Mass, and you haven't seen these people all year. And that's what you see in the playoffs. So when you win, you grab that champagne or a beer and you just pour it on somebody's head that you've never seen before. And it's part of the fun. And I don't know if you remember 2001 in Oakland, when we clinched against the Mariners, we clinched a wild card with about, I don't know, a week or so left in the season. And we had so much champagne and beer in the locker room in that old Coliseum, whatever it was called back then, locker room. There was this much standing water. My son was 4 years old at the time, and it was like up to his shins, and he was wading through champagne. And I doused my 4-year-old son with champagne, and he started crying. So tremendous parenting there.
Oh my gosh, you would have been the TMZ guy.
I wanted him to like know what it felt like to win at an early age.
I've had to fly on flights right after getting doused, and it is really unpleasant to sit, and probably unpleasant for everybody near you on a plane when somebody with kind of like sour beer, champagne residue
coming home from Vegas.
Oh, gross! It's not great. Here's one from earlier. I'm trying to find some real ones, and this is one we were kind of anticipating. How real would a competition at catcher be if Susac has another performance similar to his debut?
I got a lot of those questions on KNBR last night after the game. I think it's important as fans to not overreact either way. Whether they lose 3 games against the Yankees, there's still 159 left, or whether somebody goes 3 for 3 in their debut. I did think it made a big statement that at the very least, if you're Tony Vitello or Buster Posey, you feel comfortable platooning him against left-handers, because he showed last night against a left-hander that he's a right-handed hitter. Bailey's weaker side is the right side. And so maybe that becomes a platoon. It could also become a personal catcher situation where he vibed with Robbie Ray so well that every time Robbie Ray starts, that's his personal catcher. But he did nothing to hurt his playing opportunities last night. He only helped it. I don't think we jumped to that conclusion just because Patrick's off to a 2 for 18 start, hitting 111, and the other guy got 3 hits last night. But I mean, it was just a feel-good thing all the way around. And now, when you write his name in the lineup, you're pretty confident that you have a weapon now, offensively too, as a catcher. He did a nice job behind the plate too.
Yeah, he did. Patrick Bailey is such an elite. Like Susac called him the best in the world last night. We all know what Patrick Bailey does behind the plate. He's a difference maker. He's better than every other catcher right now defensively by like kind of when you look at the analytics, like by a factor of like, I mean, he's twice as good just in defensive run save. That's the easiest one to point to, but in sort of the advanced metrics, he's just he's worth a lot of wins a year. So I don't see a major change, but I do think we might see Susac playing more than we've seen anyone else behind Bailey for a while. And I like the fact that he can sit for a week and come out and hit. Yes. That is so tough for a kid. Yeah. The fact they know that now, that he can do that, that's valuable. So he might work overtime, and I could see him pinch hitting.
The one thing I will say to that is every career has its start. Whether it's Clayton Kershaw's first start, whether it's Max Scherzer's first start, every career has to start somewhere. And we don't know if Daniel Susac is going to be an everyday catcher in the big leagues or an all-star or whatever. We don't know that yet, but every career has its start. We saw that start last night.
Why not give Susac another start tonight? Yeah, he's not going to be the primary catcher. Certainly not not if Bailey's healthy. Even if Bailey's not hitting at all.
Well, that's why they signed Haas back in AAA, because if something does happen to one of the catchers, you need depth at that position. Yeah, and that's a tough position to go healthy all wire to wire all year long. And the organization really likes Haas, so now they have some depth at that position, and they have some offense at that position with what Susac did last night.
Somebody wants to know if I'm going to any World Cup games when it's here, but baseball is probably going to keep me from going. At one point, the paper was asking me if I wanted to like chip in on coverage, but it would have meant basically giving up the Giants for half the season. So
I would have.
You know what? The draw here is not like if England had been here, I would have been tempted. England and Uruguay are my teams besides the U.S. Okay, England and Uruguay.
So just so you guys know, I hated soccer until I met this one right here, and I went to London to visit her this off season, and she took me to some Liverpool games of the Premier League. And I was hooked immediately. You had 60,000 fans singing songs. And then I started to learn soccer a little bit, but I used to make fun of soccer all the time because they get tripped and then you fly in a helicopter and they almost die. And like, I'm used to hockey and football, and yeah, baseball players aren't the toughest, but they don't trip and fall and get taken off on a stretcher. So that part bothered me but now I realize that's part of the strategy. And I was hooked immediately. So yeah, I'm a Liverpool guy now because of her.
Great. Thoughts on we will wrap up pretty. Yeah, we've got a couple more minutes. Somebody asked about the vibes in the dugout. What are you seeing from vibes around?
I saw guys having fun playing baseball last night. I saw guys hugging, and they got this and this. I don't know what it means yet. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you guys because it's kind of a personal thing. We saw the unicorn. Susan asked Harrison Bay today about the unicorn. He said, you got to ask Matt Chapman about that. So that's a little inside thing they got going, the unicorn mask or whatever it was. They're having fun. I love to see those guys having fun.
Yeah, the vibe in the clubhouse has been very good too. It really has been. And last night was so fun. I mean, you get two guys we don't see the whole laundry cart guys getting doused with beer and condiments. I'm kind of glad we don't. But the stories afterwards are hilarious. And I am with Blade Tidwell. I don't like sauce. I would not want sauces dumped on me. 100%. Susac said he was struggling too, and they both took about 8 showers. But everyone's laughing, having a great time. I mean, really, the vibes are good. So a little bit of a weird way to start the year with the Yankees and the offense not doing much, but we knew the offense would be better. And the offense should be a good offense.
Baseball, man.
And a scout who's sitting next to me in the press box today, he's probably gone down to the field since, but he said, hey, you know the key about Rafael Devers, right? When he hits one out the other way, that means he is just about to go on a tear. And I feel like we haven't seen him go on one of his real huge tears since he's been here. Like, he gets really, really hot. He could carry a team for quite some time. So
I'd like to see him go on a heater.
Be fun.
We should wrap this up because we're in the Kuiper booth right now, and I think the Kuiper family was ready to come in here. We snuck in this booth, and I think we should go.
All right, let's go.
All right, you guys are
awesome. Great. We love you. We'll do this again soon, and we'll try to figure out how to be a little less technologically adept.
Whatever, who cares?
I'm a sports writer. He's a sportscaster.
Swing hard in case you hit it, everybody. Thanks for all the comments today. We really appreciate it. Go Giants.